he lopped it off and then served it to people at a dinner party. It wasn't like he fooled like, haha, it was my dick the whole time.
I thought he died, and it was his wish to have his dick sold.
That was a separate guy.
Oh. Yeah. No, this guy was like, no, I'm going to lop my dick off, and for $600 a plate, I'll cook it.
Did he do it while erect to make it more food?
Well, that's what me and Aaron were saying when we brought it up.
Yeah, it was on Transformers. What I found funny was he served it with mushrooms, so it's like, who got the dick? Like, oh man, John got the dick.
Is it weird that the first thing I thought about that was how much I hate mushrooms?
You know what?
No, I've got good news for you.
You know what? I hope that, because the plates were something like $600 just to go to this fucking meal. You fly halfway around the world to Japan, you go to this dude's house, he lops his dick off for you, cooks it, you get a minuscule portion because apparently it was quite small. You try it and eat it, and you're like, this is overcooked. This is rubbery.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Pixel Junkies. This is the Pixel Junkies podcast, episode 155. I'm one of your hosts, Rory DC.
My favorite part about starting the Pixel Junkies podcast is that Aaron, we could be in the middle. There could be a wildebeest coming through here, and Aaron could say we can start whenever, and Rory's starting at that he's going as soon as he gets the word go.
Yeah. We're in the middle of the worst conversation ever had by humans. And Rory starts the podcast.
Yeah. So we were talking about...
He's not providing a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for the customers.
No.
That's true.
It's only for him.
Yeah. So, what's even the point then?
So, we're talking about the Japanese dude who lopped his own dick off and served it to, dinner guests or whatever. And we're just wondering why. We're trying to come up with a reason why. And his official reason is that it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. But, as Andrew correctly says, no, it isn't, because they can go out and eat another person's dick all they want. Can you imagine if it was so good that they all became cannibals? They just, hunting people down the street, lop their dicks off to serve it?
An opportunity, to me, means at least somewhat time-sensitive. It's like, an opportunity came up.
So
I should take the opportunity. The opportunity existed up until the point that he took the opportunity.
I don't agree with you that it's... I don't think time is the critical part of opportunity. To me, opportunity has to be something good. And so an opportunity to lob my own dick off and serve it at dinner doesn't actually qualify as an opportunity. Well, it's just a really big mistake.
Maybe he got... Maybe it turned him on
to lop his dick off.
Well, to serve his dick.
Oh, great. Okay, so it turned him on. What can he do about it ever?
Well, he didn't lob off his nuts, presumably. Did he?
Did he what? Did he what?
Did he lob off his testicles with his penis?
He might have. I think he did, yeah. I think I remember reading that he...
Well, then, it doesn't matter.
He said he was asexual.
He's like, and now to enact the final recipe... of my master, the final step in my master plan, get them to eat my own dick, and now I'll jerk off while they're... Oh no! At that moment, he realizes the fatal flaw in his fucking scheme.
You know what I'm saying is, even if you lob your cock off,
lob or lob.
Lob
is to throw. Lop means to chop.
Yeah.
Rip it.
You can throw your dick off.
He rips it off.
Even if you do that, but you leave your balls are still talking to your brain. So you can still get.
You know what he should have served it with? He should have served it with duck vagina.
Which is which?
Anyways, I mean, I don't even know who I am anymore, but I know this is an entertainment podcast. And I promise we'll get to the entertainment-related things. So these guys...
Well, it's not entertaining about duck vaginas.
These guys saw Annihilation. Now, I haven't seen Annihilation because I'm seeing it tomorrow.
You failed this one.
It's Alex Garland is my favorite screenwriter, and I can't wait, and I hope it's good. And I know Adam, he was saying in the message, he was like, I don't know how I feel about it. And Aaron was like, I'm not going to say anything about it. And Andrew was like, Rory, what did you think about it? And I was I didn't see it.
My personal favorite part about this is that I really want to talk about this, but I can't because it'll ruin the movie. Because the stuff I want to get into that's going to ruin the movie.
But we can, we can hook the audience in because next time on the Pixel Junkies podcast, we can talk about it. I didn't put it there. I didn't make the topic list this week. I was doing an exam.
I think it's... I don't think we should spoil it anyway, because if anybody wants to see it...
No, I mean, spoil it for Rory, because I want Rory going with a completely blank...
Yeah,
There's
I
some
know.
stuff I want to talk about that'll color his perception. It's more general stuff. It's not like, oh, at the end it turns out that she was Mario the whole time.
Yeah, but I think the less you know about...
She's not Mario?
No.
Damn it!
I just thought it was worth bringing up, because I think it's hard to know what the audience would be for the movie, but I think you should
Rory
see it.
will like it.
I think Rory will enjoy it as well.
Okay, yeah.
I will say it has probably the most terrifying monster I've seen since The Ritual, which came out on Netflix earlier 2017, which had another really terrifying monster in it.
Don't worry, there are no monsters. Or are there?
There are monsters in the trailer.
Anyway, Rory's gonna like it.
Yeah.
Moving
Or
on.
he might not. I actually don't know. He might hate it.
Moving on.
Maybe
We've got whoa, damn bitch. What the fuck is this? What? Andrew?
No, I would like you to read that, please.
Get your stank ass feets off of Life is Strange. Before the storm, Andrew be talking. So I am really fluent in the talk of today's youth. And
No, you're not.
yet I still have no idea what in the fuck Andrew is saying, but I know for a fact that Andrew wants us all to play Life is Strange, presumably except me, because I don't play Life is Strange, but he's
Why not?
presumably talking to
You should
Aaron.
play Life is Strange. You might like it. You might not.
Yeah, I might like it.
You like indie garbage?
Did you say he might not?
He said I might not.
He might not.
In films, do you like indie garbage?
In films,
Well, I mean, I
yes.
thought you said
probably like
nodding
Life
was when
is
your
Strange.
penis explodes or something.
In
Of course
fact, I
he- of course-
guarantee you.
Did you just ask Rory if he likes indie garbage? Of course he does. His favorite director lives in a fucking aircraft carrier or whatever. An abandoned one on the German shoreline or whatever.
Oh.
I bet he would live if he could in like the site of an old concentration camp just to be avant-garde about it.
Yeah, probably, actually.
Yeah, because isn't he also a fucking... He's an anti-Semite.
No, he's not. I believe he's actually half Jewish.
Didn't he say something like
He was.
Isn't the
so,
self-hating
it was-
Jew the ultimate?
I'll see if I can get the context right.
the ultimate anti-Semite?
In the Cannes Film Festival, he had made a joke about. So I think he had thought that this certain guy was his father, and this guy turned out not to be his father, and his father was instead this German guy. So what he said was that now that he realized he was half German, he now understood what Hitler was like getting on about. Like he was like I'm now starting to sympathize, and like I see like where he was going. And
this is joke?
this is some branches of European humor, like if you're like Danish or something.
You know, any explanation is going to be good when you have to be preface it with some branches of European humor.
Are like the as I understand it,
some branches of Japanese anime actually allow for 12-year-olds to get raped by tentacles.
I think like the weird deadpan style of joke is like a little more prevalent than it is in like North American humor.
But there's also a thing that comedians and anybody who tells jokes should know, which is your audience.
Oh, exactly. And this wasn't the audience for that particular joke.
No, I mean, the audience for that particular joke was probably back at his abandoned aircraft hangar.
He was probably back with his buddies, like, at home. And, like...
Well, do you want to explain why I keep bringing up that aircraft thing?
Oh, so he spends a large portion of his time, or at least did, when he was making most... We're talking about Lars von Trier. We haven't even mentioned who we're talking about, by the way.
No,
He's Michael Bay.
Lars von Trier, who makes my definitely top 10 and probably top 5 list of favorite directors. Though it's an ever-evolving list. Probably not top 5, actually. I don't know. But he's very good, and I like his movies quite a lot. He spends a lot of his time at this, like, abandoned, like, Air Force base, where he lives and writes and does whatever it is he does. He's a bit quirky.
I thought you said aircraft carrier.
He did say aircraft carrier, but it was, like, exaggeration for the purposes of humor.
That's much cooler than an Air Force base.
Yeah, it is.
I live
This
on
is
an
on
aircraft
land.
carrier.
He just like circumnavigates the globe in his abandoned aircraft.
Well, he has. It's not just because he has a fairly large array of phobias, and that prevents him from
like living in a normal house.
Probably like
Is being hated one of them?
I guess not. They
My favorite thing there is one of his. I don't know what his phobias are, but I can't imagine a list of phobias that is included where these phobias exist would be a normal house, but not an abandoned aircraft field.
That's a good point.
I'm scared of ghosts. Well, wouldn't they live in an abandoned aircraft
field? I
field?
see what you mean. Yeah, there's
like prime ghost territory.
Which is interesting because you don't get for all the for as common as phobias are, you don't run into them a lot with big artists. Like there's a lot of quirks you run into a lot with artists, and that's not one of them. Like, but yeah, so it was a poorly timed joke, but that's the guy Adam refers to when he was saying that.
Yeah. What are we playing, Aaron?
We're playing Oxen Free, which I think was my game of the year whenever this came out.
2016.
2016, yeah.
Speaking of indie trash...
Yeah, did you mention Life is Strange at all in that rant?
No.
So I finished... I finally got around to finishing Life is Strange Before the Storm, which is the story of Chloe and Rachel before the main game of Life is Strange.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. Real good. I don't know if it's as good as the original.
I thought you said you were interested in that, Roy.
I was. And then I just kind of lost it.
So, why did you say you weren't really interested or might be
I
interested?
thought I was going to be interested because I assumed at the time that I was going to like Life is Strange.
Yeah.
And I started playing it, and then I was like, I've had enough of this. And then I stopped playing it.
Hated the first episode of Life is Strange.
So maybe I'm in your boat. Maybe I should just stick it out.
Yeah.
I really liked the first episode of Life is Strange, and I had 4 of my teeth yanked out of my skull.
Yeah.
And I kind of lost my my drive to play it.
It gets way better. Before the Storm starts strong and ends pretty strong too. And
that's good.
It's a pretty heart-wrenching story and all that.
Yeah,
all the emotional gut punches you expect. It's good.
So
what was that? It gets all the expect.
It was actually Sandy was on last week, and you guys were talking about Tomb Raider, right?
Yeah.
And Sandy had mentioned that with 2013's Tomb Raider, he had started it and played like the first half hour, and then put it down and thought it was terrible. And I did the same thing with that Tomb Raider game at first, and then went back and I played the whole thing. But yeah, I'll make my way through the other episodes of Life is Strange. I liked it at first. I was like, this is gonna be cool, and then I know it's like a lot of emotions to have in a short amount of time. But then I was like, okay, I'm done with this. I'll move on.
If you don't at least like it by the end of episode 2,
then I won't like it.
You probably won't.
Okay, yeah. But this one's good.
It's the end of episode 2 that solidified the game as something I would enjoy.
So if you like the Life is Strange, the other one,
you will like.
Will you like this one?
But don't play this one before the first one.
Oh, good. Yeah. No. Yeah.
Because it won't have nearly the emotional impact.
So the emotional impact of this one kind of relies on... That's cool.
A little bit, because it relies on your knowledge of what ends up happening to some of the characters.
Like Metal Gear Solid.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
So don't play it in chronological order.
No.
Speaking about Metal Gear Solid, I'm actually fine with the what's his name doing the voice of Big Boss in episode 5.
Me too.
Because not only did he do a good job, but it's not Big Boss. Spoiler alert! It's actually some random dude.
That's not a spoiler.
His name
What?
I said it's not a spoiler just because everyone who would care about knowing knows.
His name is
Except
Ishmael
Aaron.
or something.
What?
I'm never gonna play it.
I was desperately keeping the twist from
I didn't
in
hear what you're
hopes
talking
that
about.
he would eventually play it and be like, you know what, Andrew? This is a pretty good twist.
It's a
Yeah,
good
but there's like
game.
8 other games I have to get through.
Yeah, I
and
know.
The second
but
one
I
was no
trying to preserve it for
good. I didn't even hear it.
No, but I'm
Adam
totally
said it
down
either.
with the replacement on that. Kojima tried to replace him for the third game.
Yeah,
I don't know if you knew that.
except Adam. It's also replaced for Ground Zero.
Yeah, that
which
I
Big
don't
Boss.
like. I don't like.
No, I like that. I like that they have different voices. And I wish they had done it for the third game. Obviously, they couldn't.
Yeah.
But if they had Kiefer Sutherland do the voice for the third game and this game, I would be 100% happy with that.
Yeah, me too.
However,
David Hayter did a great job.
David Hayter does a great job as Solid Snake. Brilliant. But I really do think that's the way it should be. That being said, It's not that way in the Japanese version.
Nope.
Akio.
So why couldn't they just use David Hayter and like pitch adjust it or something?
Just Kojima wanted a new voice.
Kojima wanted his Hollywood buddies in the game.
Yeah, but that's. I don't know.
It was Kojima's call.
It was Kojima's call. Yeah.
I know. I think it's still kind of dumb though.
Why doesn't Kojima just make a film? Like, not that he should stop making games, but why doesn't he ever make a film? He loves film.
Well, he was going to be a filmmaker.
He wants to make a film. But
why doesn't he do it? Fuck,
when he started this new company, he came out and said, I know people want me to make a game, so that's what I'm going to make first.
Yeah.
And then I might explore film after.
Yeah, he probably will.
You think he'd do film first because film is easier?
Well, do you mean you think he'd do film first at this company?
Yes.
Oh, no, I think he made the right call in this case.
I don't think the company would exist if he decided to make film first.
Yeah, plus you have to remember, a big part of this company is the relationship with Sony, right?
Yeah. They probably the only reason they have life insurance or whatever is because Sony gave it to them. Seriously, fuck Konami.
Hey, speaking of bad game studios, are you a fan of CD Projekt Red?
This isn't speaking of bad game studios. CD Projekt Red is one of the best in the business.
I mean, speaking of the opposite of bad game studios.
Yes, I am a fan of CD Projekt Red.
We were talking about good game studios anyway, so why don't you just segue in? Speaking of good game studios, speaking of the opposite of bad games,
everybody, even if you don't like their games, even if you don't like CD Projekt Red's games, you've got to like them.
Oh yeah.
Well, there's such a breath of fresh air in the industry now.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't even. I would hesitate to call them AAA. They're more like AA, where they're producing AAA content, but they don't have any of the major trappings. I'll say, for lack of a better term.
Sure, but they have AAA budget and AAA prices.
Yes,
so
is what. But that's why. But they don't. They seem to be. But in terms of how the company is presented and is viewed by the public at large, it seems to be more of one of the more indie than AAA. Like, you know what I mean? Anyway, what about them? They got a new game coming out. I'm excited for it.
Oh yeah, a new game.
That's
Cyberpunk 2077.
Shout out.
You may know this game by the name of Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah.
Keep going, man. You'll get that out there eventually.
Are you a fan? Hey, Adam. Are you a fan of trash multiplayer that ruins single-player games?
I don't like where this is going.
Well, Cyberpunk won't have multiplayer.
Oh, will it? Oh, okay, good.
I mean, good news. It won't have it.
Not multiplayer, multiplayer.
I bet that sentence.
I typed that wrong. Why isn't there a red line under it? Is multiplayer a word?
Andrew, I bet that sentence that you just said out there was a really nice thing before he got a hold of it and fucking murdered it to death and stitched his corpse back together.
Yeah.
So, to answer your question about multiplayer and single-player games, I hate it.
Yeah.
I fucking hate it. It's terrible. And
now there are some games that do it, to do both good multiplayer and good.
Oh, there are games that do great multiplayer. Like I actually thought a really good example was BioShock 2, but I would have rathered still they didn't do that because multiplayer. The big thing people don't realize about multiplayer is part of getting people playing your multiplayer game is not just being a game. You have to be like this consistent platform now, like. Like if you look at things like League of Legends or something, it has its own launcher, right? Its own economy and stuff like that. It's it's a waste of time to have Uncharted multiplayer. It's like maybe I play it and it's good, but who gives a fuck?
Yeah, but a lot of these games, that had multiplayer shoot-in, especially during the last generation, were coming out, way before multiplayer games, were really, solo multiplayer games were really big. Most multiplayer games on the last gen consoles and even the consoles before then on the 6th generation were story like Halo.
Halo's a great example, but the fact that Halo exists, I think, is reason enough that if you were let's go back to the Xbox 360, right? The fact that Halo is there is reason enough, in my opinion, if you're making a single player game and it's a shooter, to not have multiplayer because they got Halo doing that. Did a fucking good job of it, honestly.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
It's like we got that, that's locked in, and to have it here with this. Random, so I start playing a new IP and now it has multiplayer for some reason, which also they've got to pay for that, right? The developer, someone pays for those servers, which means that Well, nowadays especially, it means that they take it out on consumers as far as charging them extra for all sorts of shit goes.
Yep.
So that's another reason why I don't like it is it's like, why are you paying extra to put in something that I didn't want?
Yeah.
So no, I don't like it, and I'm glad this won't happen.
There was talk of it having it, and it sounds like CDPR decided against it.
Good.
It just, you said at launch, was that specifically stated by them?
That's what I read.
So that sounds like it's coming later, though.
It may. I think CDPR was like, we explored it, and we're not gonna have it at launch.
Well, it seems not. I don't want to say this, but it seems like they're not struggling, but they're. It seems like they're putting all their attention and effort. I mean, because the game's been delayed several times, or not even delayed. They haven't even. They just announced it. Be like, this will come out eventually.
I think we'll see it at E3.
I hope we'll see it at E3.
I don't think it was
Alongside
like
other titans of the industry, like Division 2.
To Cupcake Town. Those look like brownies.
Huh?
Seriously, there's not a game I'm looking less forward to than Division 2.
No one's looking forward to because everyone who likes the Division is playing the Division
Now,
still.
actually, they could. I might actually be looking forward to Division 2 because it could be like it's like the Division, but we've improved every single facet of the game, so it doesn't suck anymore. Wow!
I'll
Thanks!
probably play it, but when it's $20.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, when it's reduced in price. This year's E3 is going to be an interesting one, actually.
There was.
I wonder what the big thing from Nintendo is going to be. And
It's anyone's guess at this point.
Well, it can't be Mario or
Switch
Legend of
2.
Zelda's. I want that to happen so bad because that
That'd
would
be
piss
hilarious.
everyone off.
Or
No,
Switch Pro.
Switch U.
Switch. I was gonna say Switch Pro, but that's just as stupid.
That sounds too normal, Switch Pro.
Yeah.
It's the
Switch Doki?
talk about games you want to see, that game that doesn't exist yet that might exist.
Yes. the spin-off to Doki Doki Universe, or rather, the game that Doki Doki Universe is
advertising.
Which has to be one of the best advertising campaigns I've ever seen for a game since PT.
It's also really good.
Because it's PT, except, the publisher didn't throw a hissy fit and take it down.
I didn't have any fucking time to play new games last year, so I only played 2 new games, and that was one of them. And
Last year?
pleased.
A game so
Yeah,
effective.
2017. Yeah,
A game whose plot was so effective that it triggered me and I had to stop playing.
really good game.
Yeah.
It was that and Tekken 7 were the only new games I played last year. I'm gonna get back to some of the others that I missed, like well, I might not.
I'm still looking forward to playing Persona 5.
Oh, Persona 5.
But
There
I
we
can't
go.
find it anymore because it's still I'm like, okay, how much? It's got to be reduced in price on PlayStation. It was like still $70, and I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna get a used copy. Nobody has a used copy of it.
You know, the big one I didn't play that I wanted to was Nier Automata.
I heard that was good too.
I got
Yeah.
that. I haven't
Oh,
played it yet.
you own it?
Yeah.
Let me know if you like it.
There's been no big games that come out yet. There was there was Monster Hunter, and a couple in January, and then nothing.
They're all coming out now. the
Dragon
next
Ball
few
Fighters.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Fighters
Yeah.
and fucking
and Monster Hunter were the 2 ones that I remember from them.
In
Oh,
the next
Monster
month or
Hunter.
so, we've got Far Cry 5,
Fucking spaced out.
God of War.
Oh, Far Cry 5. They keep releasing weird trailers
I'll be getting God of War instead of Far Cry 5 because I'm looking forward more to God of War. And what does that say about my change in taste? Because if this had been a few years ago, it would have been like
Well,
God of War.
I don't know if it says about your change of taste. I think it goes probably more to how effective the new God of War's advertising
Also, yes, that
and
game
like
looks
look
awesome.
is being, because I don't think I don't think that you would like now God of War 3 any more than you did when you
No.
played it. I just think that this new God of War looks like it's offering something new
Also,
and
the
different.
presentation looks amazing.
Presentation looks good.
And I can't wait to hang out with all my favorite Norse characters like Jormungandr and Nagir.
To be
and-
fair, you probably kill them all in this game.
No! I mean, yeah.
I'm sure you kill everybody.
Yeah.
They
I want a God of War game that's just God of War modern times. It's just Kratos and just like plops down in the middle of like Times Square, Manhattan. He's like, kill. That's your objective, is just kill, and so you just go around slaughtering people.
Yeah.
Aaron.
Just
And
like
then that
regular
will be
America.
the entirety of the next White House montage.
Yeah.
Aaron.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like The Curse of Monkey Island now on GOG and Steam?
I think Andrew's the guy to ask about that one. But sure, yeah, it's good.
Andrew, do you
Yeah.
like The Curse of Monkey Island now on GOG and Steam?
I love the fact that it's now on GOG and Steam. Curse of Monkey Island is one of my favorite adventure games of all time.
That's it.
Fun fact, I didn't know it was not already on GOG and Steam, and am
Oh.
surprised
Yeah,
that it
actually,
wasn't.
this is the first time it's been available digitally.
Well,
So,
ever.
how in
Well,
the
old
fuck did we
George-
play it on that episode?
We
Did
did.
we have the...
That was a different one, apparently.
different-
That was the secret of Monkey Island we played.
Oh,
This is the
wow.
This is the Curse of Monkey Island.
So, what the story behind that is, old George, he spent too much money on ranch dressing, and so he had to get a little bit more money. So I said, why don't I put some of my old games up on for them kids to play up online? I'll do them a favor. And I was gonna do like X-Wing, but I was like, no, nobody likes Star Wars anymore since they started using practical effects. So I'm like, what's a game that is
Plus,
entirely
X-Wing's already on there,
special
but
effects? Shut your mouth! No, I would never allow that. Monkey Island, that pirate game, because you know what the kids like nowadays? Pirates of the Caribbean, that's going well, so I figured this...
Well, to be fair, Pirates of the Caribbean is going well. Not in terms of being good, but in terms of selling.
Also, that rare pirate game that came out, there is coming.
Hey, good point.
Yeah.
Rare pirate game.
Are they still making... They're still making Pirates of the Caribbean, right?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Can we get
Man.
George Lucas to do a Kickstarter for a fucking indie game? So this is
Probably.
This is called
Probably.
Like a $70,000 goal. It's like, George, come on.
So we're gonna have a completely open world crafting multiplayer game that's gonna be heavy focus on racing and MMA fighting elements to it, and also RTS. And the budget's gonna be $50,000.
I really like George Lucas.
Fortune favors the bold.
George,
Well, you're probably gonna want to leave this channel for the next couple of weeks.
no. George,
I found a new character.
I like George,
Yeah,
too.
me too.
George is
A
a
new
weird
character.
fella.
Yeah, he's cool. Did a lot of cool shit.
People misunderstand George, I think.
I agree with
I
that.
think Nutella's overpriced.
He's very
That's
bold
why I don't
in,
pay
like,
for it.
trying new things.
Yeah.
He's, like, not afraid to try new shit, which is cool.
The best part about trying new things is when you make the whole film industry do it with you, and you hold a gun to their head until they conform to their standards.
So,
Anyway, Rory.
Hey,
yeah, what's
Remember
up?
that Tekken game that doesn't have any character
Hope that laptop
DLC
picks up on
whatsoever?
the mic.
I didn't... Oh, my God. So
How's that game
So
doing?
this came from an argument me and Aaron had based on what defines a microtransaction, because I said Tekken has no microtransactions. I stand by that assessment, but there is you can get characters. There's DLC characters.
Okay, so how much is this DLC?
Probably, I'm assuming it's $5.
So what constitutes a microtransaction?
And
Like
can I pause you for
yeah,
a second?
fire away.
So, in this part of the podcast, we're going to take the next 30 minutes to debate what constitutes a microtransaction.
You got it. We got to
Go.
fill the hour.
So like I got it. So
Because back in the day, like, the DLC was a microtransaction, but now a microtransaction is a loot box.
yes.
Yeah, okay, so I don't think all microtransactions are loot boxes, and it kind of bothers me when the two are conflated, because I think they're different things in terms of their implications. Like, to me, like...
Although I would argue that all loot boxes are microtransactions, but not
Oh,
all
yeah, that's
microtransactions
exactly... Oh, it's
are-
squares and rectangles,
Can
totally.
we have boot
Fingers and
boxes?
thumbs. So, like, to me, like, a microtransaction, maybe it's, like, maybe a cosmetic item, maybe a skin, or maybe, like, an upgrade to a weapon. It's a supplement to an existing thing. To me, a new character with a new moveset and, like, you know, obviously new animations. The thing that comes with a new character, right?
Do you want the actual Wikipedia definition of a microtransaction?
Fuck it, yeah, do it.
Is a business model where users can purchase virtual goods via micropayments. Microtransactions are often used in free-to-play games to provide a revenue source for developers.
See, that's the trick. What's a micropayment?
A micropayment is a functional transaction involving a very small sum of money, and usually one that occurs online.
Let's see, it's just as broad as the thing we're talking about.
Well,
Also, some microtransactions are not a small sum of money. They're like an exorbitant amount of money.
They're more than the game.
So I would, so that is my, like, loose, like, heuristic on microtransactions. It's not really a definition, I guess, as such, which is unfortunate, because I kind of wish I had one. But to me, a brand new character with that stuff doesn't constitute a microtransaction. Like, Dead or Alive, I'll give you Dead or Alive as for instance. It's a fighting game with microtransactions. You can buy, like, weird outfits,
Costumes,
that sort of thing, yeah. It's fluid. I'll give you that.
Mia bikini outfits are particularly nice microtransactions.
That's a classic. A well-respected volleyball and stuff like that is a well-respected part of Dead or Alive, and by well-respected I mean not respected.
I feel like that falls into two categories though, because like this character isn't needed to experience any content of the game,
That's
right?
correct.
Like they don't have
Yeah.
like a new chapter in the story or anything.
So
right?
are we arguing that the characters are or aren't microtransactions?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, I'm trying to nail down like an ironclad
'Cause
definition.
In my opinion, new characters would not be microtransactions.
Yeah.
Because I would classify them in two categories: an expansion and a microtransaction. An expansion would add something like physical gameplay, new gameplay to the game, new ways of experiencing either
Yes.
old things,
Yes.
but with new mechanics. That would be an
and in this
expansion.
case, the characters would fall under that.
Yes,
category.
but they don't add anything new to the game. They just it's almost like cosmetic. It's like a reskin of.
But it's not an
they
existing
would-
moveset, right?
Yeah,
It's
but
a
they
new
would
moveset.
because they would. I would imagine that they changed the metagame up quite heavily.
Yeah,
new
exactly.
animations, new voices, new all that stuff.
It would be different as opposed to if, I don't know, Heihachi got a different colored eyebrows.
I think
or
that's
whatever.
splitting hairs though. Like a new, yes, obviously there's new stuff that goes into making it.
It's talking about the minutia involving microtransactions, which is an ill-defined term anyway, being split in hair.
No, I think it's a good.
No, it's-
No. Aaron, I think you have a good point. Here's how I.
They're adding new
That's really
content,
cool
but it's not. It's not like it's not something that it takes time to experience.
Here you go. No, I'll actually give you my definition because I think we have the same definition. In my opinion, it's not a microtransaction if it adds gameplay time. You know what I mean? Like, and to me though, like having a new character, you got to lab it in practice mode. You got to get online and figure out what to practice against it. Especially if you don't have it, you really got to practice against it online. Like to me, that's extra gameplay hours that wouldn't have otherwise been there.
Yeah, but then you get into like this is adding something new to the game that has to be purchased. So in other games, this might be like a gun. Let's say in Call of Duty, you can buy this gun. So this is now a gun.
interesting.
It adds new sound effects and it has new textures.
So you're
and all
saying
that
you got to
stuff.
get used to this new gun.
Yeah,
because,
but now it's like this new thing, which could have an imbalance to other players, is now behind a paywall.
Is the gun available in game outside of the DLC or whatever?
Well, in this case,
Transaction
Noctis, he's behind a paywall, is he not?
He's behind a paywall. That's
So,
correct.
For this
That
argument,
is the
this gun
wrong
is
way to do a crossover character.
Also,
yes,
the wrong character to cross over. You had the world of Final Fantasy characters, and you went with
Noctis,
Noctis.
yeah.
Yes,
Well,
Noctis,
there was,
Noctis is relevant here.
I guess, but he's also so bland. Like
you got to get the fishing, man. You got to get the fishing.
Say what you will about Titus, at least Titus
Is that
wasn't
one of his
bland.
finishers or something?
Thankfully, he doesn't fish in Tekken. But I do want to, even though I don't think it's a microtransaction, I do want to mention something that I actually don't like it. Because I don't like that you have to pay for it. Because lots of fighting games give you lots of characters for free. Not modern ones, but like Tekken 4, or Tekken 5, or Tekken Tag 2, which has a fuck ton of characters.
Tag 2, Jesus Christ, that goes back.
That game has so many characters, it's ridiculous. You can play as anybody in that game. And so I don't like that you have to pay for this. Second of all, I don't like guest characters, as a rule. Because I have the same problem Aaron has with it. Make your own fucking character. You know, like, it fucks to me with the,
I will say
universe.
The one exception to that is...
Smash.
Well, the two exceptions to that are... I forgot about Smash. Smash and Injustice, because I feel like Injustice is already a game
That's the point,
where...
yeah.
Like, I can in Injustice, I can conceivably see Hellboy beating the shit out of fucking Black Manta. Like,
Yes, but I would not in Injustice want to see Mario
No.
roll in with his wacky pants
No.
and start kicking ass.
It's his hat that's wacky, Rory.
When it's the
his whole
point-
thing.
No,
That's the
specifically
point of the
the
game.
hats
I think
and
it's fun.
Oh, that's the one that it does all the shit. Yeah. So I don't really fuck with guest characters as a rule. That being said, Noctis is unfortunately a reality, and like Aaron said, he's locked behind a paywall. So if I don't want to pay for Noctis, now I have Noctis anyways because I have a season pass. So if I don't want to pay for Noctis, I can't lab him in practice mode, but I have to fight him online if he
Because
comes
you're gonna
up.
run into him.
Because I'm going to run into him. So it's like I'm at a strict disadvantage, which to me affects gameplay mechanics. So, and to me that's like the cardinal sin in microtransactions is, do you affect the gameplay balance?
Well, why not do something like GTA that actually, in my opinion, I think handles its content better than a lot of other games, where all the characters are free. because so you're not affecting the metagame of your competitive multiplayer. But then you can charge out the ass for different costumes and stuff. I feel like that would be a more... I mean, I wouldn't like it, but that would be a more acceptable, especially for a competitive multiplayer game, especially one as prominent and where the meta
matters so much
compared to... Actually, I can't think of a multiplayer game where the meta doesn't matter, but...
So I agree with you
it'd be like,
that's better.
It's like in Pokemon, when only certain people have access to certain Pokemon because there's an event in Pokemon, but in official tournaments, those Pokemon are banned because not everybody has them. But I would imagine that that's not the case for Tekken.
Exactly. So I'm totally with you there. That's better. But I also really like the fact that in Tekken you don't have to pay for customization. I want my cake and I want to eat it too, because customization is so much of a part of your identity in these games as well, right?
Yeah. Well, let's be honest. Microtransactions in games are something that we've been... It's like way back in the day, somebody brought a goat into the house and was like, this goat just lives here now. And instead of complaining that the goat is in there at all, we're complaining about different facets. It was like, yes, well, the goat is shitting all over the carpet, but you know what? At least he's not vomiting on the couch anymore.
It would just be better if we didn't have the goat in the house at all.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Really tortured metaphor, but there we go.
No, I agree with you 100%. And I think, and here's the part that confuses me. So Tekken came out. Tekken's the best-selling fighting game franchise of all time.
Is it?
Yeah, it is true. Yeah.
Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter?
Yep, which is shocking. I know. I also thought it would be Street Fighter. But no, Tekken is the best-selling one of all time. And the reality is, with the game, they don't really need... I can't see the $5 from Noctis being significant enough to make a statistically significant, change in their overall revenue.
Yeah, but
how much
it
time...
will if everyone has to buy Noctis.
If everyone has to buy it. That's a good point. Yeah.
So in this case, would it be worse to add a currency into the game, not like one that you can purchase coin packs for or whatever, but add some sort of currency to the game that you earn from fighting people? Maybe you had you have a rating, I guess, online, and you fight a really hard person.
You get more currency,
and you get a higher currency, and then you can then buy the character with it. Would that be preferable then?
So Aaron has just solved the problem.
Currency?
No, you've solved the problem because the game has a secondary currency.
And is that like a microtransaction currency?
No, you can't purchase it at all. It's just used to purchase. It's earned by playing, and it's used to purchase customization options, costumes, and the like. So you're right. They should have that, and you can buy Noctis with your currency. That's a great fucking idea.
I'm surprised that's not the way it is.
Yeah, but they won't get the $5 from everyone that wants to buy Noctis.
That's true. That irritates me, man. On a related note, or on a kind of unrelated note, so I'm not a fan of this as it is. I will say, it looks like Noctis is really good. It looks like he's a lot of fun to play. And his hair looks awful. And I'm going to send Aaron a picture before he puts this up. For some reason, his hair looks like it's in 240p.
Sweet.
It looks like it's at a different resolution than the rest of the character. And I don't understand why.
So you're saying that Noctis is fun to play as?
It looks like he's fun to play as.
What a radical shift from his home game.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Does he use a sword?
So here's the thing about Noctis. One of the cool things about Noctis is he can yank swords out of the ether and just, chuck them at enemies like a Jedi.
Yeah, I know. Can he do that in this?
Yes, but...
But then how can he possibly lose when he's going up against, I don't know, was it martial law, who was really good at Jeet Kune Do, but can he toss a sword at Mach 2 from out of nowhere?
How does 17-year-old Lucky Chloe beat a bear? It's Tekken. But here's the thing.
The bear's a
yes,
chump.
he has a sword. It doesn't... They're more like his punches and kicks. They're just more like an animation feature.
Okay.
He does have one projectile attack, which I don't like because Tekken shouldn't have projectiles. But at this point, the other two guest characters, Akuma from Street Fighter and
don't some of them have fireballs and shit?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, now in this game, but this is the first time historically they haven't had that. Geese Howard from King of Fighters.
King of Fighters.
Yeah, I know, right? That
hasn't been true ever.
They both have projectiles, and I don't like that. Oh, technically, Elisa had projectiles. She was in another game as well. But Tekken shouldn't have projectiles because there's sidestepping in Tekken, unlike in Street Fighter. So you can just sidestep the projectiles.
Can we just have a fighting game? Because I just want a fighting game that ends all other fighting games. We don't have to have them anymore. And it's just everyone...
Adam doesn't like fighting games.
Everyone v everyone. And literally, it's the game every month will update with 12 new characters for the duration of its playtime. And it will be characters from any form of any historical or fictional characters anytime. So you can have, like... a typical match would be Master Chief versus Bob Ross, or Abraham Lincoln versus Mario, or Ronald McDonald versus
Pluto.
Pluto. You can have the Wendy's chick, Wendy's fighting
Like the animated one or the live action equivalent, because they have a live action.
Or
girl
actual
who plays...
Wendy, who they took out of commercials
Well, there are
pretty fast.
There are three. There's three distinct characters in the Wendy's character archetype.
So they're all in this game?
Yes, and she's fighting Mecha Godzilla.
You can have the two Wendy's kill each other.
Yes.
So I like this idea, Adam, except for the fact that it's missing one. We need two of these games. We need one 2D version and one 3D version.
Oh, obviously.
Because that's the big thing, right? It's 2D versus 3D.
Well, maybe
fighters.
there's a toggle in the map selection.
Also, last week you guys spoke about
Spoke about many things.
Soul Calibur.
Yep.
And Geralt, our friend.
Please don't call him Geralt.
It's Gerald. Rory.
Yeah, it's Gerald. He will be in the new Soul Calibur.
Yep.
And I've got to say, I'm still not fond of Yes characters.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad he's not in Smash Bros.
Mm-hmm.
And I think... Have you seen the trailer?
Mm-hmm.
So, is it just me, or does this game look really good visually?
It looks pretty good.
Yeah, like that's what I noticed when I watched that trailer. I was like, oh wow. Now his hair is not as good as it is in The Witcher.
Soul Calibur is one of those those names of games, however, that was probably picked because they're like, what's two cool names that we can put together? Like Devil May Cry.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with the plot, just that sounds cool.
It's the what's the band? Cobra Starship or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how they picked their name.
The first game in the series was Soul Edge.
That's true.
It wasn't Soul Calibur.
That's the same thing, though, as
Yeah.
Adam's talking about.
They'd be like, well, before Cobra Starship, they were Shark Tank.
well, Soul Edge is the name of the big sword that Nightmare uses. Soul Calibur is the antithesis of that sword.
Yeah, no, you haven't convinced me.
I know the lore behind it. I know, but that doesn't.
It's still just cool names. You're just pushing it down further and further down the road.
Well, Soul Edge makes sense.
That would be like instead of Darth Vader. No,
well, but you could say it's a sword, so it has an edge. I don't know, man.
Then why not call it Soul Sword?
Well, Aaron has a question.
The first one was Soul Edge. Was the second one just Soul Calibur?
Yes.
Or was it Soul Calibur 2?
No, it was
Soul Calibur.
So Soul Calibur 6? What's the new one?
6.
Is actually the 7th game.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
so
okay.
it's a Demon Souls, Dark Souls situation.
Although Demon Souls.
I don't know.
Really
I can't pick either of the two of those.
Yeah,
apart.
Demon Souls is not in the same universe.
No, but it's
technically
like
there have been attempts to bridge all the Souls.
Yeah, but it's all
together.
non-canon.
No, it's not in the same universe, but it's like in the line. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
Another game that I'm looking forward to coming out this year is, speaking of Souls games, From Software is coming out with a new game this year.
That's true.
Cool.
It was announced back at the Game Awards. They showed a bone, and that was it.
Right.
And I'm looking forward to see more from that.
I think, people are predicting Blood.
I really hope it isn't Bloodborne 2.
I think it is Bloodborne
because
2.
Bloodborne is a really great, insular, good fucking game. But the problem with Dark Souls is Dark Souls 1 is such a really good, unique game. And the other ones are good, don't get me wrong, but they add a lot of unnecessary story to it, where Dark Souls 1 had just a perfectly good narrative with a binary choice at the end that it was left open-ended and you can leave it open to your interpretations. Where 2, and especially 3, they bring in more mystery. Obviously, there's still a lot of speculation, but they also answer a lot of questions that you don't really need answered in that kind of game. And I love Bloodborne because Bloodborne has a lot of questions left unanswered, and I don't want them answered.
Maybe we'll get another Demon Souls situation, where Demon Souls was a Sony exclusive, and so was Bloodborne. And then From Software came out with Dark Souls because they were like, well, we can make a lot more money if we just do Demon Souls again but make it multi-platform.
Yeah.
Maybe From Software will just do Bloodborne again. It's the same, pretty much the same as Static.
Oh, and make it
And
multi-platform?
just make
That'd be
a
good.
new IP.
I'm tired of exclusives. It bums me out that I
Just
have
be
to
Blood
get...
Souls.
Yeah, why not?
It bums me out that I have to get Persona and Yakuza
Demon
on
Born.
the PlayStation. It's like a... I just don't want to.
Yeah.
It's like a hassle. It's like, no, I gotta switch over to this other thing. Did you ever play the Souls games, Aaron?
Hmm?
Did you ever play the Souls games?
No. Well, briefly.
I know you have at least 2 and 3. Because
I
they were in
have
Humble
them, 'cause-
Bundles.
yeah, they were on. I haven't touched them, though, no. I played them briefly. I don't know if it was at Andrew's house or not.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, I think I showed you one, and we played a couple of them on this, I think.
Oh, okay, yeah.
For-
Like for PixelJunkies videos? Back in the day.
I want to
Yeah.
do Dark Souls as a series and just
That's
have
a good
me and
idea.
Aaron- have me and Aaron
yeah,
play through and
that's
beat it.
special.
Yeah.
I don't know, they just
It
never
takes so
appealed to me.
long.
Have you seen Face Off? Let's not pretend like taking a long time is a restriction we put on series.
It's
We
only
did
been
James
half
Bond.
a year so far.
The fact that Face Off still hasn't ended is entirely their choice. It could have ended a long time ago if they just used the tilt kill all command.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, yeah, but then there'd be no content in the series. All right, till command, everyone dead, and till command all mass, and there we go.
I mean, it's worth noting the guy suggesting that we use tilde commands is also the guy who, in the previous 2 series of
Hey now.
Skyrim, was played
watch
on
your mouth.
Xbox. So, there you go.
We did it on Xbox because we didn't want to fuck with your achievements or
Did
whatever.
we?
To be
Yeah.
fair, we
Or
had
you already
actually
had
had
your
used
achievements.
the tilt command at certain points because there
That's
had
the
been
reason.
times the game was
I
just
don't know.
broken.
Yeah.
That's
Just
the
like
reason.
one of
We
the-
had all the achievements in the Steam version already.
Oh, yeah.
My
yeah.
personal favorite glitch
Oh, yeah,
so far
yeah,
is when
yeah, that's true.
Alduin perched himself in the middle of nowhere in the sky, and we kept hitting him with arrows and he wouldn't die, and then we had to tilt command to kill him, bring him back, and then he reset.
I know I did this last week, but I gotta pee again. I'm sorry. Hey, have fun talking about this next time.
Yeah, this is going to be great without Andrew here. This is going to make total sense. Everyone's going to be very well informed on it. We're going to skip that one and get back to it when Andrew gets back, because none of us are going to be able to talk about
Speaking
that.
of someone leaving, A Way Out is now Way Out.
Okay, what's
That
a
was
way
almost
out?
like Andrew, but it wasn't the same.
What's a way out? Does anyone know?
That's that prison game or something. Where you're in prison. Remember that? Remember the Game Awards, Rory? You watched those?
I didn't watch them this year.
Oh. Well,
It looked interesting, I guess, but I don't know. I'm so kind of
Sorry.
I mean, I already have my like kind of go-tos for point-and-click adventure games. And
you
so
must
this
have
one-
seen the articles, though. It was
I'm
the developer for the
gonna look it
game.
up.
The developer got up on stage and said, "Fuck the Oscars." Remember that? That was that
I don't
guy.
remember that, but it sounds like something a game
Who-
dev would do at the Game Awards.
Who at the Game Awards says "fuck the Oscars"?
No, he said.
"What are
He
you
said.
doing?"
He said, "This is the shit," like referring to the Game Awards,
Oh.
and said, "Fuck the Oscars."
Yeah, I think he needs to.
He was probably drunk out of his mind.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You know when you get drunk and you forget
Aaron,
irony exists.
we're getting a bit of tearing on the screen.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. We'll have to deal with it, I guess.
For a second, instead of saying roosting tree, I thought it said rooster teeth. I'm like, oh shit, did they make this?
Nope. Wouldn't be
your-
playing it.
Fucking Gavin in the background.
Yep.
So it's coming out March 23rd. It says 27th
now.
on this, but that's not correct.
Does it? What? That's a different game.
What?
The 27th.
Oh my
is
god, I'm
referring
sorry,
to
I'm
a
looking at the
different
wrong
game.
thing. But A Way Out is coming out on the 23rd. So y'all can play it. Wait, what, the 23rd of March? That's like...
That's now.
That's now. That's today, the day we're recording this. So
Yeah.
I guess it's out.
That's why I called it that in the.
Oh, it's way
I mean,
out now. Oh,
That's why.
yeah.
That's what I also said. I didn't
What
use
do you-
now.
what do you
I just said it's
mean?
way
We're
out.
lost without you.
So Neverwinter Nights
Because I have to pee.
Enhanced
I have
Edition
child's bladder.
is coming out on March 27th. Andrew and
Well, fuck that other game, I guess.
Neverwinter. Does anyone
That's dark.
Yeah.
okay, like Neverwinter Nights is a weird? Yeah, that's it. That's the whole sentence. That's all I had to say about it.
It's a CRPG based on the
Does that just mean
Forgotten
computer?
Realms universe. What?
Does that just mean computer?
Yes.
Yeah.
So why is that different than a regular RPG?
Because
they're
like
good.
like Baldur's Gate, like Andrew's right, by the way.
Yes, but not always.
Well, no. What Andrew is really right about is, you know what they actually are? They're actually RPGs. That's the
Are
difference.
they though?
The good ones
What
are.
CRPGs have I played that I may not have been
Baldur's
aware it's a
Gate?
CRPG? I haven't played that.
No, I don't think Aaron's ever... Well...
Did you ever play Final Fantasy VII? Because that's not
No.
it.
I mean, I played Pillars of Eternity, but that's not even an RPG.
Can I be
don't know
honest?
why.
I think RPG is such a terrible term for video games anyway, because like 90% of the games that you play, you're technically playing the role. In Doom, you're playing the role of the Doom guy. In Halo, you're playing the role of the Master Chief.
Yes, but...
I know what you mean.
But couldn't you say the same thing about, like, other games? Like, in Monopoly, I'm playing the role of...
Yes. Yes, you could.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't play Monopoly. Who do you play in Monopoly?
You play as
Shoot.
investment bankers attempting to demo entire...
Inanimate objects stealing money from rich people.
That sounds like shit.
No, you're stealing... You never, ever steal money from rich people. That is the one rule. Steal from the poor all you like. They don't have much to begin
I
with.
think
so
I've
they won't
always
miss it.
Man, when I was a kid,
robbed the
everyone was
bank in
super into
Monopoly.
Monopoly.
Those, the pieces you play as actually represent your industries.
Oh.
So you might run a thimble industry.
Why do kids
or
like this
shoe-
game?
That's
shoe
actually not why
company.
they're there.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Monopoly genius
that's
over here. Why?
Well, the reason is when the guy first made the board game, because it was during the 30s and he was very poor.
He only had a thimble and a shoe to
He,
play as?
well, he took like little items from his daughter, and like they had around the house. So his
He
son had a
robbed
little
his
tiny
daughter.
toy battleship. His daughter had like a little shoe from a doll. He had a thimble. And that's what they used for the board pieces.
Well,
They
that
just
was
stuck-
depressing as fuck, Adam.
Yeah, well,
The,
it's also much... That's a much nicer story than playing as...
part of the thimble industry.
Yeah.
That booming trade. What the fuck is the dog? Yes, I make dogs in my factory, don't you know?
You've never been
The
to
hardest
a dog
part.
factory?
The hardest part
Yeah.
is getting rid of the knot once they're done.
So,
Gross.
here's my question about Neverwinter Nights coming out.
Yeah.
Because they
The,
burst out of
the enhanced
vagina.
edition is coming out.
Yeah.
There are also
Now,
new Monopoly pieces.
The CRPG market is a legit market, and I'm always upset when companies ignore niche markets.
Yep.
Because that's why people thought XCOM was dead for years. And
Worry. You can't tell me that survival horror is going to be a thing. That'd be like saying that one of the highest rated and best-selling games of 2017 would be a Resident Evil horror game. Preposterous. Oh no, wait, that actually happened. And maybe the games industry doesn't actually know what they're doing at all.
exactly, because even small groups of people, percentage-wise, are large numbers of people. So I get that Neverwinter Nights Enhanced Edition will probably have its market. I'm just surprised. Like,
Why?
I tell you why I'm surprised. Because we have Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition. We have, like, more modern ones like Divinity Original Sin.
Yep.
And Divinity Original Sin 2 now.
Yep. Pillars of Eternity.
But,
Tyranny.
What's the other one? Tyranny. Tyranny was the one I was thinking of.
So
And
Tyranny? Friggin' great.
Will
Play
play
it.
it. Sorry, carry on now.
then there are new Monopoly pieces, so they got rid of the thimble, the ironing board, and the wheelbarrow. So
Why?
Because they were
Because they were
sexist as
fucking
fuck.
awful.
When was the last time you saw a wheelbarrow?
I don't know, last year?
What an absurd question! It's not like remember the Great Wheelbarrow Migration?
I'm just saying, it's not
of
really a
04?
thing you would use in Monopoly,
No.
presumably. Like,
Well, here's what.
So how are you going to carry around all your money?
Well, here's on the back of a T-Rex, because that's one of the new pieces.
Oh, no.
So the
Jeez.
old pieces that are left are the dog, the car, the ship, the hat, and the cat, which I didn't realize was a piece. I think my board is missing a couple. And the new pieces are a penguin, a rubber duck, and a T-Rex. And yes, I did vote in that contest, and yes, I may have voted more than once for the T-Rex. Look, there it is.
Did you ruin Monopoly?
Oh yeah.
yeah. Do you
Did
remember
I-
when they had the Mountain Dew contest? Well, there's two Mountain Dew contests, of course, famously.
Where the hell
there
did
was-
all those Mountain Dews go?
So,
We like Voltage won, didn't it?
what?
Yeah.
No.
So where the fuck is it?
No. So Voltage. No.
It's in the
Voltage.
store. You gotta leave your
Voltage
room
won.
in order to get it.
Voltage won, but then they had to do another one because Code Red didn't win. They were like, "Fuck, Code Red didn't win.
Why didn't
we
they
got to
just-
do another one?"
were banking
Why
on
even
Code
have the
Red.
content? That's like when Games Workshop, the guys that make Warhammer Fantasy, back in the day, in order to progress the story of Warhammer, they were like, okay, what we'll do is instead of actually progressing the story ourselves, we'll get people to write in the results of their battles between, like the orcs and the humans or whatever, and we'll record all the results that come in, and then based off those numbers, whichever army does best in those fights, that's how so it'll evolve organically as people play the game. I'm like, that's a neat idea, except the one flaw is, of course, people are going to vote for their favorite army, so the orcs rampaged across everyone else because everyone plays orcs and just spam the shit out of the voting machine. And so they were literally like, the greatest threat to the known Warhammer universe is the Forces of Chaos, and the Forces of Chaos didn't get a single vote, or something. It was like a ridiculously small amount. And they were like, well, shit, we can't have this because our big bad guys that we've been setting up for 20 years have just got the shit kicked out of them by the joke characters.
Two things.
Yeah.
First thing is, if you're curious about the other naming contest, I can't remember if it was Mountain Dew or it was someone else, had that vote for the name of this next flavor of soda, but then the 4chan people got a hold of it, so the number one vote was for Hitler Did Nothing Wrong, which you can't really name a soda that. The other thing...
Why didn't they not have, like, predetermined options?
I know, right? Adam just reminded me
Although
of
I'm curious
something
what that would taste
when
like.
he talked about voting and influencing things.
Yeah.
So...
Wasn't there that's how we got Bodie McBoatface.
Well, yes. So, recently, there was an ad that was, became, known in the MMA community because this popular pornographic website is now, they're having an MMA fight. But in a business model that I'm told...
Which pornographic site?
Cam something.
Oh, I don't know.
Apparently there's this model in pornography, this business model, whereby you, like, pay money, like, donate, and the, like, person, like, on the screen does something. So, like...
You mean a cam girl?
Sure.
Poor boy.
They're doing that with the MMA
Is that a
fight.
business model?
So
a roundabout way.
I'm gonna guess.
You can live interact, and somehow if you donate money and be like, do a front kick, the fighter does a front kick. I'm curious how this is going to work in real time. This is like Twitch plays MMA. And also, like, but there's also other fights. There's, like, one, like, legit MMA fight with known MMA fighters. And then there's this other half of the poster that has all these random girls on it I've never heard of.
I'm assuming they're just porn stars that they just got into the ring.
Are they fighting,
and here
or
comes
are they...
the oil, ladies!
But are they fighting? I can't tell if it's, like, more porn or more MMA event. And... I don't know how it's going to work in real time. Like, how am I going to get to tell that guy to do a front kick in time for him to actually do the front kick? Do they have earpieces? Like, what is... Like, how does it work?
Someone just writes on a whiteboard and holds it up outside the ring.
Can you imagine if it was earpieces and one guy's getting, like, just a shit number of commands, like, right, left, right, left, 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 right, right, left, right, kick, 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 and the other guy's just getting karate chop down, karate chop down, karate chop down, karate chop down, karate chop down. So he's just like...
He's getting, like, the Shoryuken input. They're like, quarter circle forward, 3.
I don't know what this means!
Are both fighters using this technique?
Yes, I believe so. I believe you can donate to either side, I guess.
So just one guy doesn't get any donations and just gets the shit kicked out of him?
This is what I'm wondering. Since it's a porn site, are you also allowed to give pornographic commands? And if so, is there any scenarios where these guys leave without fucking each other?
Stick your finger up his asshole until he
So-
screams like a bitch. Jesus!
Are these like established streamers or are they just trying it out?
What?
Are they established streamers?
Like, streamers? Like, the
Yeah, 'cause
website is an established pornographic website.
Yeah, but like,
my free
why is
cams?
anybody watching this?
Why is anyone watching it? Honestly, for
Like,
the spectacle.
Yeah, I know, but like, so when is this? Is this already happening?
No, it's going to happen. I saw an ad
Yeah, I'm just
for it.
wondering, like, if there's just going to be two guys standing opposite each other and nobody watches, and they're just like waiting for donations.
Oh right, you're saying like if there's nothing, like
we need to get the word out so we can get.
20 minutes into the fight, one donation comes in. It's like $100 from Dragon Sex. Fuck him in the ass.
Okay, so the webcam streaming site Cam Soda will be putting on, that's a good name, a mixed martial arts event in Fort Lauderdale, Florida on April 26th. Blah 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 blah. So there's these actual fighters, and then The ring girls will be available after the fights as a special bonus.
Doing what?
As cam girls.
Oh, okay.
And you'll be able to pay money to tip the fighters and get the fighters to do the moves they want. So for the first time ever...
How many Hadoukens are there going to be?
Here's a quote from the guys, I guess, who run it. For the first time ever, fans will be able to directly interact with fighters in real time, it states. As the fights occur, fans watching the live stream will be able to determine bonus money and provide extra incentive for specific finishing moves. So I guess it's like...
So...
This is fucked.
What we have here is a classic situation of they haven't thought this through,
Yeah.
nor really looked at any other examples of people let the internet do anything. Because as soon as you let the internet do anything, the trolls get a hold of it and it ruins everything. Like, I'm surprised that they managed to actually band together and get Dark Souls, Twitch plays Dark Souls out.
Yeah, really though.
Because, I honestly thought that, some of the trolls would have melted the fucking computer that they were playing it on in the hot slag with with a virus or whatever.
Well, because it became a meme. If it becomes a meme, you're probably fine.
Yeah.
You're probably good.
It's also worth knowing that the more you donate, the more influence you have. So I guess that's the troll protection. This is the other poster they have for it. You'll notice no MMA fighters featured on it, and just these people.
Women. Women. So I thought of something I think is pretty funny.
What?
Do you know how deep fakes are a thing now?
Yeah. Okay. Do
What?
we want to talk about that?
What are deepfakes?
So it's it's like a protocol for developing fake pictures, and so it's like a classic part of the internet that there are these fake celebrity pornographic images. So you'll edit the head of a celebrity onto some random ass porn star.
Say if you
Yes.
Google Scarlett Johansson.
Oh yes,
name.
yeah.
So in my
I
opinion,
like how Adam.
Oh yeah.
so they've tried to ban this.
Was
in
it-
my opinion, this is not something you can ban it from your own website because it's your private website. You can do whatever you want with it. So if you're Reddit and you decide this is against your TOS, it's against your TOS, right?
I know what you're talking about now.
I got all kinds of them. I mean,
But in my opinion, because a lot of people have said
I got
this
a lot
should be
of Meryl
illegal.
Streep.
This should not be illegal, in my opinion.
No?
Unless you're expressly. Unless there's well, here's the caveat I'll say
So
to that.
why is
As
it
long
called
as you
deep
say
fakes?
it's fake, because it's a amalgamation of fakes, which are fake celebrity images, and deep learning, like AI deep learning AI protocols. I think is the way it works.
Yeah.
And so. But if you say it's fake, in my opinion, you have license to do whatever the fuck you want to do with it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because there's no possibility of slanderous or and I don't think we should legislate art. We've talked about this before. How in Canada, the country we live in, it's illegal to draw pornographic pictures of fictional children, which it shouldn't be because nothing you can draw should be illegal. That's fucked.
Although I think that's more because they're we might as well just blanket blanket ban anything to do with child pornography.
That's exactly why.
but it's
it
a
is.
drawing. Isn't that censorship?
Well, here's the thing.
Yeah, but
yes,
there's-
it's censorship.
In my opinion, there are some forms of censorship that are necessary. Very limited forms, but I think when it comes to pedophilia, absolutely.
But here's
that's
the
one of
thing.
one of the ones that gets through.
The reason child
drawing.
pornography is illegal
Yes.
is because children cannot consent. Animated pictures of any age cannot consent.
So by that logic,
my point is that an animated 13-year-old has no more or less consent abilities than an animated 26-year-old.
I mean, I'll be the first to admit that this is a fucking ridiculous law in
Yeah,
Canada.
people do go to jail for this. If you're wondering, this
Yeah.
isn't just some shit they don't enforce.
But at the same time, if you're looking up porn and you're looking and specifically type in Japanese anime porn 13 and under or
Yeah.
whatever, you know what you're doing.
You definitely know what you're doing.
what you're doing, and you're a fucking asshole.
But you're aware that this actually makes some mainstream anime, illegal in Canada.
Yes.
Which I think is highly problematic.
Well, on the subject of fakes,
very fine line between ichi and hentai.
on the subject of fakes, then that raises an interesting point because obviously depicting imagery or a photograph of a celebrity.
Yeah.
Let's say I don't know. I don't even know.
Meryl
Who,
Scarlett
Streep.
Johansson.
well, less so because she wasn't really underage when the internet started coming about. But anyway,
Uh,
Ellen Page.
Emma Watson. Emma Watson, for
yeah.
example, there's all kinds of photos of
Her as a 12-year-old.
of her younger, but obviously she's legal now.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there's plenty of photos that have faked nudity of her using a photo of her while she was underage.
Well, that yeah.
But it's fine now because she's of
no,
legal age.
no, that's actually still illegal.
But how do you know?
That's they have laws on that. That one.
Yeah, but
is,
how do you know
what
the
if
photo
it's
is
her
her?
12-year-old face on a 30-year-old body?
That's still
But-
considered.
Well, I mean, obviously, that's when it's obvious, yes. But when it gets to the point where
so
it's
you're
like,
saying, how do you know?
how do you know she's underage in this particular photograph?
Well, they can probably check back if it ever comes up to a point where they'd actually have to put it in a court, right?
Maybe,
I'm sure they
yeah.
could. But here's the thing. If you do it and don't say it's fake, I think that's totally illegal. Because just like it would be illegal if I photoshopped some
face.
celebrity, your face in, and you were like shooting hookers and doing coke or something, and you'd be like, "I've never shot a hooker or done coke. That's depicting me doing illegal activity, which is effectively slander."
Despite
Yeah.
how I present myself on this show, I'm actually a very boring person.
Yeah, and so like I totally see that if you don't say, but if you say it's fake, this is just something I made on my computer that no real people were ever involved in. To me, that's kosher.
In that case, that almost falls under parody, which is protected.
That's actually one of the chief arguments on the side of it is that it qualifies as parody.
This ain't
Dude,
child porn XXX.
No, child porn does never get to pass. I don't give a fuck. Like, there's like especially if it's real humans or pictures of real humans. Like,
Well, of course, if it's real humans, then no one argues with you there.
Not.
did I ever tell you the story? This is a bit off topic, but when I was working at Future Shop, one of our computers crashed, as they frequently did. And I had to call our tech support. Now, Future Shop's tech support for Bell was much different than your regular tech support because we were a business. We got put on the business line, and they put all the competent people on the business line as opposed to the customer line where they stick, the rejects and the poor performers. And so I was talking to the guy. I was like, "Yeah, my computer crashed. I don't know what it is. What's can you help?" And he was like, "Yeah, I can help." And he's like, "What's the serial number on the back of the computer?" So I gave it to him, and then he's like, "All right, I'm just gonna do some typing." Is the fastest typing I've ever heard. I'm like, "Is that you?" I literally thought it was like somebody was like rapidly like hammering on his wall. And I was like, "Is that you typing?" And he was like, "Yeah." I was like, "That's the fastest typing ever." And he was like, "I think I averaged something like ridiculous, like 200 like words a minute or something. Whatever. Like I don't know how what
I'm sure it's in the low hundreds. I'm sure it's not 200 words a minute.
Yeah. But and I was like,
Did he chuckle it? Yeah. I
No.
average about 200.
no, he was actually really nice. And I said, and I was like, "Oh, where'd you learn speeds that quick?" He's like, "Well, I was actually part of the Royal Canadian."
Can't tell you my secrets, kid.
I'm actually behind you right now. What's the
Nothing personnel, kid.
Oh yeah, and then he was like, "Yeah, so I actually used to work for the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, and I was part of their cyber crimes division." And
right.
and I was like, "Oh, that's cool. Why did you leave there in order to work for this? Right, in order to work tech support? That's obviously a step down." He's like, "It is, but the last job that I worked for the RCMP for was we were actually tracking down a child pornography ring. There's only so much that you can watch before you quit." And I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually.
Yeah, like Jesus Christ.
Because I think that subject, not necessarily child porn, but like identity impersonation is going to become a lot more gray in the near future. Like with a lot of new technology and stuff. I think it's with Audition. Adobe Audition has a new thing now where you can, with very little recorded audio from someone's voice, synthesize basically anything you want someone to say.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. And if you use that, I think you should absolutely suffer consequences if you use it to depict someone doing something.
Yeah, like a
they
phone
didn't
call
actually
or
do.
something.
No. You should suffer the full extent of what you can do for something like that.
Yep.
That's bullshit.
But if you're gonna produce something like that, like I agree with Rory, and if it's pictures or audio or even video, you have to say that it's fake at the beginning. Somewhere in that video, you have
somewhere
to say,
in there,
and it has to be. It can't be like fake, like a flash. It has to be like, this is fake. This is entirely created by me.
If it's intended as malicious. But in the case of like maybe there's a deceased actor in a movie and they're CGing them and they have some of their dialogue.
But they still have to get permission for that, guaranteed.
Yeah, they get permission. Then
Peter Cushing deepfakes?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Peter Cushing, but be able to... I mean, granted, the voice actor did a pretty good job in World War One, but... to be able to synthesize their voice.
Yeah. So...
Anyway, back to my joke that won't work now. You know how deepfakes are a thing now, right?
Yeah. Forgot.
Next
Yeah.
time there's a big UFC fight coming up,
Yeah.
someone should deepfake the two fighters into gay porn and upload it as the fight.
The whole fight.
Just title it the actual fight and
So
put it
the
on Pornhub.
Speaking similarly,
Yeah.
the last UFC fight. You know how like UFC is like notorious for taking down streamers.
Yeah.
On, like,
Oh,
YouTube
this.
or
I was just
whatever.
what I was just about to say. Go ahead. Yeah.
And so one guy got away with streaming pretty much the whole fight. I think he got
the whole
halfway-
fight, I
Did he
think,
get the whole
basically,
fight?
yeah.
Because in the bottom right corner of the screen that he was filming, he did it on Twitch, and he was holding a controller, and so he was. And the title of the video was like, "Watch Let's Play UFC Ultimate Fighter 2," but he was just watching the fight holding a controller.
It was so good. He even tried to, like, when he screwed somebody, he's like, "Oh, damn it!" Like,
Yeah.
he really like gave it a go. That guy's a hero.
Yeah.
He's fucked now. He's fucked forever, probably.
Yeah.
But
What, with Twitch?
no, UFC, I forget the fuckers who own the UFC now.
Is it Spike?
WME.
The fuckers. That's slander, Rory.
No, it's WME. It's not slander. Besides,
Well, you called them
WME
fuckers.
is run by Ari Emanuel, and he's said enough offensive things that he can't come after me for shit.
Yeah, but so why would that guy be in trouble now? He can just make a new Twitch account.
No, I think they're gonna come after him
yeah,
legally.
but he's violated like every TOS ever.
I guess.
Like, because you're not allowed to stream something, because that's an international stream. Like, UFC has distribution rights to their own events, right? So, just think about, like, the Netflix, all the Netflix shit. Like,
Yeah.
you can't have, blah, 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 in Netflix Canada, and that sort of thing. It's why Annihilation, of course, because we all know, you guys saw Annihilation. Annihilation is out in Netflix, and in every continent that's not North America, basically.
Christ, first Trump, now this.
It came out on March 12th. So you guys actually saw it after it came out on Netflix in
Yeah.
other places.
In the worst theater ever.
I feel
Seriously,
bad for that theater.
we went to sit down in the theater and we had to change rows because there was a big fuck off spider sitting in one of the seats.
Can
And we're
anyone-
like, we don't want to block your views, sir, so we had to go down a little bit.
For those who don't know, or for those who've seen the Prey series and remember our conversation about the Sobe Square Mall,
Shouldn't even be called Sobe Square. Sobe hasn't existed there
No,
for
it hasn't.
fucking 15
I don't think it
years.
is Sobe Square.
Technically, it's like Mount Pearl Cinemas or some shit.
Mount Pearl Cineplex as well.
But like,
Yeah, Mount Pearl Cineplex with a bar.
if you go there, like it's a place that you can't believe isn't out of business yet. But at this point, I think they're never going to close because what else could happen?
Are they subsidized by Mount Pearl?
They gotta be.
Are they kept
I'm
open?
gonna say they gotta be subsidized
Probably.
by crime.
Why else would it exist? No one goes there ever. They employ people. They got to be losing money.
Yeah.
On running that theater.
Now,
There's no way
pe-
they're not.
There were people in our theater, so the theater could probably sit like what, maybe 100 people? Would you say?
Yeah, I guess. Maybe.
A dozen people there?
No, but I mean the actual number of
Yeah,
seats.
but that night.
Yeah, there was a dozen
About
people.
a dozen, yeah.
What I'm saying is there was 100 seats. One woman sat right behind me, directly behind me in the whole movie.
Yeah.
The whole fucking movie.
I
well,
actually like the theater.
Also, poor Aaron, had to spread his legs so wide his resume. A
Those
feminist
seats-
didn't come in and fucking parade him.
I mean,
for
the
that.
reason she sat behind you, Adam, is because the seats in the back, the screen is just the size of a regular TV, so why the fuck are you going to the movies? And you sit at the front, the screen is about 8 feet high, and like the physical screen height, and it's about 20 feet up a wall. So no matter where you sit,
Yeah, that's
you're doing
true.
this.
So here's
So
why
you
I
sit
like
in the
that
middle
theater.
where it's like not ridiculous.
First of all, I'm like, me and Aaron always run into this problem. We ran into this problem with controllers. Like, you remember we have a problem where Aaron has big hands and I have small hands, and so we prefer different types of controllers. And I feel like Aaron's also super tall and I'm super fucking short. So, like, we also have, like, different theater preferences. I like that theater because you can make a real day of it. You go first to the City Lights Buffet, which is a restaurant that sells Chinese,
Where nobody speaks
Japanese, and Canadian food, whatever the fuck Canadian food is.
Poutine.
It's French fries.
Yeah, in this case, I believe it is French fries. And you
Yeah,
like,
but that's not in the mall.
no, but it's close. So you
It's
get
along
that.
that road.
Yeah, you get that. Then you can go watch a movie. It's tradition that I have. I've seen a lot of horror movies there, and most importantly, they keep movies for like a month after they're gone out of every other theater in the country.
That is true.
Yeah.
It is kind of like your like shit. It's not at the main theater. Oh wait, it's probably in Mount Pearl.
Exactly.
It's our last chance.
Yeah.
And I do like that.
Jumanji was playing.
Yeah, exactly.
That was the movie that ended as we got.
It's been out of theaters for like 2 months.
Has it? I thought it just came out.
No.
No.
I think it's just
Yeah,
coming
around
out
Christmas,
on
I'm
Blu-ray.
pretty sure.
Yeah.
It's coming out at Toby
Because I
Square.
remember talking with my friend Katie around Christmas. She said, "I saw it. It
Yeah.
was a movie."
Yeah.
Likewise, you guys saw Annihilation, and
A
that's
movie
not
on-
out in the main
that-
theater.
yeah.
That's on
A
Netflix.
movie on Netflix right now. Go see it at theater. Did you guys notice how the exit signs were so bright that they were actually coloring the bottom of the screen?
That's
I did
true.
notice
That's true. Yeah, they do that.
So in the dark scenes, the two bottom corners of the screen.
I guess I was sitting
were-
on enough of an angle
were
that I
shaded
didn't see
red.
it. I couldn't see it.
I thought, because I remember noticing that last time, and I was like, is that going to happen for the whole thing? Like,
You betcha.
I like that.
Don't go see a dark movie.
they closed the ticket booth. Like ages ago, years ago, they closed the ticket booth. So
Yeah.
now you have to get your tickets
Yeah.
at the food place.
I guess like traditional theaters, in most theaters, you walk in like an L-shaped hall, and then you turn around, and then that's where all the seats are. Like that's like I think of traditional theater. In this,
Yeah.
it's like you open the door and there's a screen. So
Yeah.
and the door's open the whole time you're in the movie. So I mean, there's light. Most of the movie, there's light coming in from outside.
no,
of
they
the
close
concession.
the door.
But they
Not
but people-
sometimes. Not sometimes I've been.
No,
there.
sometimes
leave
they
the door
don't.
wide
He's
open.
right. He's right. They don't.
But sometimes like people come in and just leave the door open.
Yeah.
Like, shut the door.
It happens. That's true.
We're watching
Yeah.
a horror movie. Shut that damn door.
So it's like, and you know, it's light, and then you just hear like the light goes away, and and you know, it's a massive echoey theater. Well, not massive, but it's a big.
But the best part about
terribly
it is, I don't know, we went
soundproof
like an
room.
hour early. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I thought it would take
wouldn't-
longer to get there.
To be fair, I wouldn't have a huge issue with the theater if it didn't cost as much as the
This is a
actual like big production theater.
You know what? No, I
fucking
think
hate-
Far
I
better
think what really
seats.
soured your opinion is when you came back after and you found out. You were like, "Wait, this is on Netflix," and I was like, "Yeah." And you were
Well,
after the
no.
movie immediately. You were like, came home. You were texting us.
Yeah,
You-
I know.
Oh, I totally would have torrented that and just had you guys over here to watch it
Yeah.
if I knew that. Sorry, Alex Garland, but fuck going to Toby Square. Put your movie on Netflix.
I feel like if Alex Garland lived here, even he would be like, "Man, fuck that."
I feel bad for that little theater.
Yeah, I wonder who's it. David Lynch was complaining like, "You don't watch theater movies in theaters," but then he came to like Toby Square and he's like, "Nah, fuck it, watch it on your phone."
I love the just also if you're ever in Newfoundland, you really should just go to that mall because it really is like a wreck.
There's no
ghost of a
lines.
building.
You want to be the only person in the mall? Go to
Yeah,
go
but
to that.
like,
But here's the thing: the mall is like government offices for Eastern Health, which is our fucking hospital, which is like our.
there's a
our-
tanning place there too.
There's a tanning place. There's a bar called Thirsties, which is probably the worst dive bar in the fucking town. I mean, considering St. John's has a lot of dive bars,
Yeah, it
that's
does,
saying
yeah.
a significant amount. And they have a one food place whose like menu is written on like poster board and Sharpie and stuck up on the wall with tags.
yeah.
No, but the thing is about that mall is you can go not very far and go to another bullshit mall down the road.
Yeah.
The Village Mall.
The Village Mall isn't much better.
That place
At least
is
it has
super
shops
weird.
though.
Yeah, but everyone who goes there
They're all
is a
pretty close.
degenerate.
Those three malls are very close in proximity.
What? What?
So
What?
those three malls are very close in proximity. It's like
Actually, they are.
drive down the road. There's the Village. Drive up that road. There's that.
There's
one.
our only real mall where you can get some t-shirts and some dildos in the same place.
right in the middle of the food court.
Next to your Who in the fuck?
And window shop
thought that
dildos
was a
while you're eating your
good
Big Mary.
idea?
My favorite part about the Avalon Mall, which is of the three malls, of all the malls in
the
our
most
province,
legit.
it's our biggest and
Yeah.
our most
They took out the
legit.
floor recently.
They took out the ceiling. Instead of having all the wires run nice in the ceiling, all the power and like line cables for like the cameras and stuff, they're strung up like spaghetti, and they're like there's wires tight as tight could be around pipes. Just like there, you can see the wire quivering with the tension as it's strung around this pipe. And I'm like, why didn't you just run it above the pipe?
Adam, you may be surprised to know this, but one of the first things I remember finding out about you has to do with the mall. I was talking, it was like me and Cindy.
Adam putting the Blue Star bottles
We're
inside
talking
the walls.
about the food court at the mall, which is like, it's like half decent now. We got like a Thai place, we got like a Mongolian place or something. Like we got some legit places. Sorry, Mediterranean place.
The easy cuisine.
Similar words. That's the issue. And so it's like, but back in the day, it was super whack. We had like a KFC. We had like a Chinese food place, which I don't think sold any Chinese food. And one of the things I was saying to Sandy, I was like, and there's the Buck Weavers, which is a restaurant no one's ever been to and no one's ever gonna go to. And Adam was there, and he was like, "Nah, I like it there. They got great cranberry sauce." And I was like, which may or may not be true, but I was like,
isn't that the
who
sandwich
is this
place?
guy, and why is cranberry sauce a way that he evaluates food places?
Well, the thing is, if you wanted to go in and get like a turkey sandwich, you could be like, "Do you want cranberry sauce on that?" And you said, "Yes, please." And so you have cranberry sauce on your turkey sandwich, which tastes delicious.
It's true. It's just at the time.
But you can't go to like anywhere else except for Breen's, which is like the replacement for Buck Weavers now because Breen makes good sandwiches.
That's true.
They're
But, like, if you
dog
go to-
shit in my experience, but I'll go ahead.
No, have you
There's
been to
different
No.
Breens, though, man.
So there's the Breen's corner store sandwiches, which are like, eh. But then there's
Yeah.
the Breen's Diner on Elizabeth Avenue. They make like fresh sandwiches and stuff.
There's
They're
another
good.
Breens, too,
What's
in
the
like
one
Logie
that's-
Bay.
What's the one that's by the dump?
That's the Logie Bay Breens.
Yeah.
They're a little hit and miss, but the diner on Elizabeth
Miss
Avenue
indeed.
is
Great.
like the shit.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Great
Turkey
fries.
sandwich. It's like the best turkey sandwich in the city.
Yeah.
We were working in the area once, and it was lunchtime.
Yeah.
And when I took out my
The
sandwich,
dump area? That area?
Yeah, that area.
Okay, yeah.
We're making our town sound super shit.
Our town is super shitty. We're just saying it like it is.
Not the actual dump, just the city. Anyway, I hadn't realized, I don't know, I guess I wasn't awake when I made my sandwich in the morning, but it was moldy bread, so like, God
Ugh.
fucking damn it. So we went down to Breen's and I got a sandwich, and I may as well just eaten the fucking moldy bread because it was disgusting. It was just like the fattiest, cartilagiest pieces of whatever the hell bird it came off of, slapped onto squat
Probably
bread.
a seagull.
Stepped on bread. Yeah, whatever carcass they found at friggin' Robin Hood Bay.
One of those
Which
duck
is the dump?
vaginas.
Yeah, Robin Hood
Oh.
Bay is the dump.
The
Yeah.
duck vagina sandwich.
Robin
With a
Hood Bay
piece of, like,
sounds like a place.
Rubbery
here.
ass lettuce.
Everything.
Pretty chewy.
Every place here has a bullshit name, and Robin Hood Bay sounds like it would be one of them. You're like, oh, going out to Robin Hood Bay, but no, it's actually the name of
Going
the
out to
dump.
Robin Hood Bay sounds like you're gonna go out like, oh, we're gonna go out, for a hike. It's like, no, we're
No,
gonna,
yeah,
I got a skiff full of shit.
No.
I gotta take it rid
You
of.
ever
just
been
where
to
you-
Granny's Hole?
God, that's a real place, isn't it?
It is a place.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I've never been there.
One of my favorite tweets I've ever seen online was waterboarding at Guantanamo Bay sounds really fun if you
Oh.
don't know what either of those two things are.
It sounds like a great time. Vacation or some shit. But yeah, anyways.
Trying to get back on the
The
top.
Elder Scrolls, so the Elder
Or we
Scrolls
could
Online
end,
Somerset. So Somerset Isles expansion came out.
Well, it's not out yet.
Sorry, it's
Wrap
coming
up
out.
soon. I gotta pee.
Oh yeah. So me and Andrew and Aaron
You can just go.
vaguely recently,
Just leave this.
like
Yeah.
in the not too far long ago past. Matt, wow. Okay, that was good.
A
So
while ago.
we decided to play Elder Scrolls Online. We are like, we want to play some PC games. Andrew was living in a different location at the time. And so we wanted something we could play together. And we were like, well, Elder Scrolls Online is free, so let's play that. It was with a Humble Bundle, or Humble Monthly.
Not free, but no month.
Was free for us.
It was free for us because we had Humble.
Oh.
Yeah. Andrew had to buy it, I guess.
You bought like the Turbo Edition, if I recall.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, I bought it back then too, but I wanted it on Steam, so I had the Humble version. And so we sat down and played it, and we played it for about 4 hours that evening. After which we were just I felt like I was stoned.
I remember
Like,
listening
I
because I was
was-
playing Destiny 2
Yeah,
at the
that's
time.
right. Yeah,
And
we were on
I
Discord.
I came in onto the Discord shit, and you guys, and you're like, because I remember the conversation began with, we're playing Elder Scrolls Online. It's going really well, and then the next hour and a half was just you guys fucking complaining about the game. Well, I'm shooting Vex in the middle of fucking wherever I forget the name of the place I was in. But it was just you guys complaining constantly.
It's an MMO that goes out of its way to make
It's
Playing
difficult.
with your friends
yeah.
difficult.
It makes you not want to have friends.
Yeah.
Which is amazing.
It'd be a lot easier to play by yourself.
Yeah, exactly. But it wouldn't be better. It would just be easier.
Yeah.
But so now you can not be better on the Somerset Isles.
Yeah, well, after you leave the first area in the game, there's like 9,000 fetch quests that you have to do.
Yeah.
But because you can't do them with your friends, you're all just running random directions, doing shit on your own.
And you have to, like, sync it up, like, with...
Well, each of you has to collect.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
you all have to complete the
You
quest
all have to
objectives
talk
individually.
to the person. You all have to do the objective. You all have to return the quest.
Yeah, and
So
if you're
it's-
unlucky enough to be me, you guys kill the boss, and I'm stuck outside trying to find which guard has the key.
Yeah.
So it's like with in that fucking Let's Play series that Achievement Hunter did way back in the day, the Priest Panda Posse, or whatever the fuck it was called, when they played World of Warcraft, Mists of Pandaria, whatever that expansion was called, and they just I think it was Ryan and Jack attempting to corral everyone, Jeff crying in the background, and then the three lads just running off in different directions because they had no focus. That's exactly what it sounds like. So they'd be like,
exactly.
Gavin, where are you? I'm doing this quest. That's like 8 quests ago. Hurry up!
And we were trying to do it together. We made an effort.
It was
not
like it in the
possible.
beta as well, because me and Andrew did a video on that years ago.
Yeah.
And I was just following Andrew around, and then we realized when he turned in the quest that I had to do everything as well.
Yeah.
It's like,
That's
this is
so
so
dumb.
dumb. It's super dumb.
Like, it was forgivable there because it was a beta.
Yeah.
And I think
But
we
also-
came to that conclusion. It's like, okay, they'll probably fix
Probably
that.
a bug or something.
Because this is, like, something that needs to work in an MMO.
But I
When you
thought
play
the
as a
Somerset
friend.
Isles have been out since day one for this.
Nope.
Like, I thought...
Yeah, I was under that...
I thought I started and when I was the Old Married Dominion, I thought I started in the Somerset Isles.
You might have started...
That was my
in
memory.
Valenwood.
No,
I assume.
no, I didn't, because I was I started with the High Elves, I think, in Oradon, which I think is in the Somerset Isles.
Oh.
From
The,
what I've seen, a lot of people have just been complaining about this, in that it ruins the lore, because apparently in the lore, the Altmer castles spiral impossibly high in the sky and are made out of crystal glass and look like dragonfly wings or something.
Yeah.
In this, they're just gray castles that look like they could be anywhere in the
That's
rest
good.
of Elder Scrolls.
That's nice and lazy.
I mean, the castles here do look very much like just
Generic castle.
kind of
That's good.
like Bretons would make it.
That's good.
I can't find where Oradon is. All it says is this is Oradon.
So,
And I guess you do also have to keep in mind that
That's
in
spooky.
the lore,
spook.
Cyrodiil is this jungle.
Yeah,
This,
that's right.
This
Yeah.
massive overgrown jungle.
Mhm.
And that was changed for Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. And it was explained later that Tiber Septim used his godlike powers to change time and make the jungle much more hospitable for the residents of Cyrodiil.
The amount of dicking around that's had to been done to the lore because of Elder Scrolls Online, it's like, it reminds me of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Right? That's like that all the fucking around they had to do in Clone Wars because of that stupid throwaway line in the movie where he goes, "Oh, General Grievous, like you're not as tall as I expected," or something. And that's why in the Clone Wars, this is true. That's why in the Clone Wars they can't see each other for the whole goddamn series.
yeah, so it's
True.
only Obi-Wan and Grievous encounter. And there's plenty of times where Anakin's like right around the corner, but he does not see General Grievous.
Yeah, he can't
I
actually
never
see
actually
him.
I never realized.
But it's absolutely because they even talked about it in the conference. Like, yeah, we really wanted to have the scene with Anakin and General Grievous, and we had a bunch of cool different scenes planned, but we couldn't do it because there's a fucking throwaway line in the fucking movie.
Yeah.
Without the fucking. 'Cause
Why
that's
didn't
really
they just
cool.
write that into the show then? Where it's like it became a joke for him to say, "You're not as tall as I thought," or whatever.
Yeah, see, that would be a way to do it as well.
Yeah, but I'm sure. Oh well, you can't have that because that would directly violate the canon that I established. We should probably move on and get through these topics. 'Cause I got one thing to talk about that's not on this list, but it's short.
So, this is Oxenfree.
It is.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And
Hey, Aaron,
Yeah, this again, yeah.
are you playing Oxenfree?
Yeah, I am.
Aaron, if you need to use the washroom, I can take over. For
Aaron,
fine.
once you're done playing Oxenfree, you should go to the after party, which is
Oh,
to
man.
say the next game from the people who made this. Who the fuck made
That
this?
gave me
Night School.
What?
Night School.
Night School. Night School made this.
They're making a new game where you play as two newly dead people.
Newly
wake
dead?
Up in hell.
Oh, man.
And they decide that they're going to make a deal with Satan or something. And they
I can't tell if you're joking or not.
No, I'm not
Okay.
joking.
Yeah,
They
sounds
decide if they can outdrink Satan at his bar, Satan will return them to Earth. That is the story of this game.
Why do they want to go back to Earth?
I guess because they died and they're like, fuck this.
And so they're going to just come back to life and be part of one of those shitty ABC science fiction shows where
Maybe.
people come back to life?
I suppose.
You like
Great.
Gallivant?
Do people come back to life in Gallivant?
One guy comes back.
There's two shows made
Oh,
totally
well,
separately.
in that case,
The-
I'm going to watch the hell out of Gallivant.
The whole plot of two different shows was that people in the town started coming back to life, and I was like, how are these two different shows? They,
So Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
I'm looking forward to it. I love this game.
Yeah.
the remaster has no multiplayer.
Did you even know that they're going to remaster Modern Warfare 2?
I did, and I knew it had no multiplayer.
Oh, okay. Well, this
Why?
is
Why?
not
Why?
for you.
Why didn't they? Why? I'm not looking forward to it because of what Activision did to Call of Duty Modern Warfare 1's remaster, which is basically say made it worse in every conceivable fucking aspect.
How so? Did they make the campaign worse?
They
Well,
charged
no.
extra for the DLC more than the DLC originally cost.
And
Yeah,
they
but
charged
if you
for
have-
DLC at all.
If you have no want to play the multiplayer remastered and you're in it strictly for the campaign, do they make Modern Warfare's remaster?
Yeah, because it's more expensive now than it was when it came out because of price.
Also, you
inflation.
had to, wasn't it tied to a pre-order of
It
some
was.
shit?
Now
You had to
eventually came out
pre-order it
independently,
for
but it's still a $60 game. I'm pretty sure.
All right, but say you just want to play it in nice new graphics. Is that a game? I don't know.
So you're saying it purely just was the campaign itself altered in any way? Is that what you're
Yeah,
asking?
like Adam said, it was worse. How is it worse? Besides the fact that you have to pay money for it again.
Okay, well, it's not work because it's still presented as the same thing, but the fact that it came mirrored with all this Activision fuckery,
Yeah, that's
where the
definitely
first
worse.
game did
Yeah.
not.
But if this has no multiplayer,
Well, then fine, that's fine. But why can't instead of releasing each game independently, why not say we're releasing all 3 of the Modern Warfare games as part of a pack?
because
Like,
they can release the Modern Warfare 3 remaster when Modern
Okay,
Warfare
so
4 comes out
here's
next year.
why this shouldn't have multiplayer.
But just release all 3 of them at the same time, like BioShock and every other fucking game that's had a
Yeah,
remaster.
but they can charge $60 a pop.
Well, then
here.
fuck Activision. Take Bobby
Here's the thing.
Kovic or whatever the fuck his name is. Take his legs, wrap them around his ear, and then just make him sit on a fucking paint thing.
Modern Warfare 2 doesn't need a remaster.
Take that, Bob. or
Modern Warfare 2 doesn't need a remaster. The story was dog shit when it came out. It's still dog shit
You
now.
don't like Modern Warfare 2?
It's the worst of the 3. Are you familiar with the like
The Holy
the-
Trinity of
the
Call of Duty?
No, the holy trinity of statements on war in games. There's Fallout, which is war never changes.
Yeah.
There's Metal Gear Solid, which
War
is
has changed.
war has changed, and there's Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, which opens with the line "War is always changing." They make 3 different like noun verb agreements.
Came out around the same time.
Yeah, actually.
Their games, ironically, don't.
And yeah, that's true. And it wasn't good, and it shouldn't have a multiplayer because it shouldn't exist.
I liked Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 in a dumb way.
It's not as good as Modern Warfare 1.
No, that's for sure.
No.
Yeah,
But
that's pretty
I'm
controversial.
saying I liked the campaign as dumb as the story
Yes.
is. I liked it for how it had really cool set pieces.
Yes.
I liked it in a dumb Michael Bay movie kind
I
of.
wish I did, but I didn't.
It was almost an evolution of the franchise. So it was like, well, if Modern Warfare 1 is how realistic we can portray a modern military, then Modern Warfare 2 is how we can portray the same thing through the lens of Hollywood.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's almost interesting. And then with the rest of them, they're like, let's keep doing that. And I'm like, no.
It's also worth noting that Modern Warfare 2 is responsible for some of the most egregiously poorly designed multiplayer elements of all time. Which is to say the tremendous abundance of kill streaks,
Yeah.
which should not exist in any competitive game, they completely fuck balance over. If a game is to 30 kills and you make it to 7 kills until you can get something that allows you to get more kills, you completely fuck up the point of the game. In my opinion, that's an unforgivable
Well, good
problem.
news. You don't have to worry about that in this.
That's true. Yeah, I won't be getting it.
Tomb Raider Remastered for PC has been canceled. Whoops.
Yeah. So remember how there was news about them remaking the Tomb Raider 1 through 3 on PC?
Wait, what do you mean 1 through
nope.
3?
Oh, yeah,
The classic Tomb Raider?
Oh, okay. I was like, why are they remastering Tomb Raider? But you mean old Tomb Raider. Yes,
Yeah, I was
do
thinking the new
remember
ones as well, just because they remastered them for PS4 and stuff. But anyway, yeah, go ahead.
Anyway, they're not doing that now.
Meh.
The people responsible for those remasters that I'm pretty sure they're mobile ports. They're mobile mobile versions of those games. They announced the PC version without actually okaying it with Square Enix.
Good work, boys.
So
Sweet.
By the way,
That's not happening.
we're proud to announce remasters of episodes 4, 5, and 6 of Star Wars.
oh,
Brought to you by PixelJunkies. And I guess the last thing is Google Light Fields. I don't know what that means.
me neither.
Yeah. That was a new thing that came out for VR. I guess it was last week, a couple weeks ago, that I wasn't particularly interested in, but I actually tried it out, and it's kind of cool. It's kind of, I guess it is infancy at this point, but it's kind of a cool technology where if you take something like a stereoscopic image, like a 3D film, it uses two images that are more or less two different perspectives. So when you're watching a 3D movie, put those glasses on, the fields sync up at some point, and you can then see the image with like a perspective, like it's there. That's more or less how it works. What this is doing, I guess it's kind of just experimentation at this point. But the problem is with stereoscopic images, particularly in VR, is it only works in the two planes. So like you can't tilt your head, and you can't, if you rotate your head, then the image fields start to overlap, and it's almost like you're not wearing the glasses at all.
Isn't the same thing with 3D movies?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they'd be able to shoot movies like, maybe they could. No, they wouldn't be able to do movies like this. But I'm interested to see how this technology will develop. Basically, it's I think about a dozen cameras in a semicircle, and that spins around 360 degrees. So what it allows you to do is stand in a specific point, but you get depth perception for everything. So like, there's a lot of examples in the in this. I wouldn't really call it a game. It's more like a tech demo that they've released on Steam that puts you in like an environment where you can see with like, it's like true 3D. I would call it, that lets you see, like you can tilt your head a little bit, and you can see around corners, and you can rotate your head upside down if you wanted to, and see everything like it's actually there. It looks really good. It's almost like, it's difficult to describe it unless you experience it, but it's almost like a game that is just real life, because you get the perception of being in that environment. It's really cool.
That's cool, actually.
I hope that they get to like expand upon that and start to I don't know, if they could film something with it like it, that'd be great, or even make a game with it would be cool. But it's cool technology. I hope there's more to it than what they've shown.
The snow effect in this game looks like a 90s broken television.
Because it's not snow. That's supposed to be like a 90s broken television.
I see. I was fooled because there was the other snow there, so I was like, oh, that's the main storm, and this is the side storm. I'm really glad it doesn't look like that.
You can see like the tail going
Jesus,
out the
yeah.
building.
So two things before we end.
Yes.
First is
Two things.
Deadpool 2 got a final like a release trailer.
I didn't watch it.
It's pretty good. I mean, they specifically say in the trailer he's talking with T.J. Miller and Ryan Reynolds as their characters, obviously.
Yeah.
And he says, you don't think it's going to be just like a massive disappointment that's not going to be able to live up to the expectation of the first? He's like, nah, probably not. But he's shame if it was. And I'm like, because what I've been hearing is that Deadpool has not been testing well with audiences, so I don't know if they had to really quickly shoot that scene.
Here's the thing you have to realize. In an interview, when T.J. Miller left Silicon Valley, the show, he was doing an interview with Jimmy Kimmel, I believe. And Jimmy Kimmel said, why did you leave Silicon Valley? I love that show. And TJ said, well, have you seen the Emoji Movie yet? I just wanted to tell that story because I feel like that says a lot about this particular.
Jesus Christ! Oh yeah, I forgot she hung herself.
Your second.
My second thing is I think John Oliver this week and should be given an award.
Last week. Huh!
Should be given an award for being the best troll I've ever seen because of what he did. So we're familiar with
the book.
Yeah. So Roy, are you familiar with the story?
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, so you know who Mike Pence is?
Yeah, he's like a vice president.
Yes, and he's also a well-known homophobe.
I didn't know that.
He is. He says he isn't, but he brought in many anti-LGBTQ.
I'm not surprised.
Legislation into
America.
When he was governor, I think Indiana was what he was governor of, wherever. He was
Indiana? Oh wow. Okay.
And he's also he's heavily associated with religious groups that the pray the gay away groups.
Okay.
So he's very much a homophobe. He's very right wing. He has a bunny called Marlon Bundo who has its own Twitter account.
It's a rabbit.
Yes.
Okay.
It has its own Twitter account and stuff, and it's kind of like a minor celebrity in the White House. So it's a funny rabbit. Like
it shits everywhere.
It's
great.
Kind of like Grumpy Cat has his own Twitter.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Mike Pence was releasing a book about Marlon Bundo called Marlon Bundo's Day in the White House, I think.
A book, a whole book,
like a children's story book.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And the book was just about Marlon Bundo being in a children, and going to the White House and exploring around and stuff.
Yeah.
The day before it was released, John Oliver announced his book, which was called Marlon Bundo's Very Special Day, in which Mike Pence's rabbit, Marlon Bundo, falls in love with another male rabbit, and he wants to get married to this male rabbit, except he can't because there's an evil stink bug who thinks that male bunnies should only marry female bunnies, and the book is about Marlon Bundo and his lover Wallace, I think was the rabbit's name, having to come up with all the other animals in the forest, having to come together with a plan in order to get married in secret away from the stink bug, or to change the stink bug's mind. And it's a legitimate children's book. He released it on sale the day before Mike Pence's children's book came out. Not only that, the audio version of the book, Marlon Bundo is played by who plays Sheldon?
Jim Parsons.
Jim Parsons, and the entire book has a gay cast to it. Not only that, but when the book came out, it instantly hit #1 on Amazon, and I believe it's a New York Times bestseller, so the book is selling better than Mike Pence's own book. John Oliver created a book about a homophobe's rabbit that in the book turns out to be gay, and it sold better than the homophobe's actual book. That's the best use.
That's pretty good.
And not only that, but all the proceeds, all the money from the sales of these books is going towards, I believe, the Trevor Project, which is a non-for-profit organization that helps with LGBTQ youth in crisis. That's fantastic. That's the best trolling I've ever heard of.
Yeah, that's good. I like that.
If you say you're a troll and you're not John Oliver, then you're not doing it right. Because he is obviously.
Well, John Oliver has a platform to do that.
Yeah, but you got to that's not only is that trolling, but that's also trolling and being nice about it at the same time.
Oh, sure.
He's being a dick, but he's
I generally think John Oliver comes off as pretty pretentious and up his own ass most of the time, but this was really good.
Yeah.
This was really good.
So this is a very interesting point you've made, because I like John Oliver, but I can't watch his show because I don't give a shit about any of the things he talks about.
Yeah.
But I like this a lot. Yeah. So you and I are kind of in the same
recommend
boat
looking
here.
into the story more, but it is fantastic. I think I know it reached top sales on Amazon. I think it's on New York Times bestsellers list as well, but I'm not sure about that one. I didn't read that on the New York Times site. I read it on a headline somewhere.
Oh, okay.
So that might be false. Just to let you know, but it is doing extremely well, and it came out the day before Mike Pence's book, and it's fucking awesome. Sniped him on the way. Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. Fuck Mike Pence. He's a fucking homophobe.
Yeah, he doesn't sound good.
No, he's
not ass slander.
Then again, most of them seem to suck.
Technically, yes. I should say, Mike Pence is not a confirmed homophobe. However, I don't agree with many of the views that he is often associated with because they are come across as being very homophobic. And I think anybody who is closely associated with those views and doesn't outright distance himself from those views, you can read into that however you want. And I think we can end.
Yeah. Next week we'll be back. I'll have seen Annihilation.
So we'll talk about that.
We'll be talking about that, hopefully in some detail or other. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, also, I've seen the new season of Jessica Jones, so we can then talk about that.
That's out. I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to seeing it. I'm currently
I
making
know
my way through
Aaron
Punisher.
is looking forord to it the most.
I got like 7 other shows to watch first.
There's no way Aaron's gonna watch that. They
Maybe I'll just watch the second season. Fuck it.
I'm making my way through Punisher right now.
Hey, remember when Daredevil died?
And so when I'm done
I don't
Punisher,
care. I really
when I'm
don't care
finally
about that
done, I
show.
can start Punisher. So I started Punisher and just got a few episodes in, and when I'm done that, it'll be Jessica Jones season 2. Liking Punisher so far, gotta say.
Punisher's alright.
Like John Bernthal, he's really good.
Yeah, no Thomas Jane, but yeah. Alright, goodbye everyone.
Later.
See you next time.
Bye.